You ready to review some statistics, guys? Get involved with the stats review in the comments, and we will feature them. It's time to get this party started. Of course, remember to tag me in all the stats review on all of social media at Statman Dave, including my favorite platform, Tinder. It is now time for the stat review, Will. The first stat of today's stat review comes from Opta Joe. 18. Southampton's 19-year-old fullback, Tino Livramento, is the first teenager to start each of his first 18 Premier League matches in a season since Micah Richards did in 2006-2007 for Man City, aged 18, kicks.
So that's not just a fullback, that's just any teenager.
Yeah.
So that shows that he's physically committed, physically ready for this league, and he's obviously having an impact. That's why he started 18 games in a row. Yeah, really like it. I really like him as well. I think a lot of people who are not deep diving into football as much as you, Dave, like him from the fantasy football angle as well. Well, I know he scored already this season, and it's just an exciting prospect.
Massive, exciting prospect. I think, he's Chelsea, the Chelsea Academy is just producing so much talent at the moment. He's very much another one, and I think they will maybe buy him back in a few years' time. I think he's up there with the best right backs in the world of football in terms of his age.
For me, great start to proceedings. It's 8.1 from me.
8.1?
Yeah.
Surprising from you, Will. Usually you're a bit harsh with the statistics. 8.1. Do
also
get
learning
into the comments to review all the statistics. I'm going to give it a 7. Let's move forward. So next up, Tchouaméni. The SofaScore Awards in 2021. The number 6 award for the Bulldozer. Tchouaméni ranking number 1 in Europe for a number of statistics, Will. We're talking interceptions, tackles, 3rd place for ball recoveries, and of course, 10th for ground duels won. Tchouaméni, a force to be reckoned with in the middle of the pitch for France and Monaco in 2021. Tchouaméni just spitting out those facts, Will.
Love the format. The Bulldozer sort of, even for the simple-minded like me, when it comes to football, you can already picture what sort of player this is. And he is Sofa Award number 6, the Bulldozer. Yeah, love it. I'm sort of learning about this player, which I know the name of, but now I'm feeling I'm getting to know the player.
He's going to be one of the most wanted midfielders in European football in the summer. I think he's got a lot of potential. Needs to iron out a few things in his game, but potentially could be massive. Will, score out of 10, please. Hit me with the stat review.
Do you like the fact that the player is retweeting this as well?
I like it.
I like it.
It shows some testicles, doesn't it? Some balls.
I would give this a 7.8.
Next up, Edmee Towels, last 10 games. 84% of his aerial duels won, 77% of his tackles won, 74% of his ground duels, completing 89% of his passes, 7.1 defensive actions per game, and a whopping 6 clean sheets.
I don't know if 84% aerial duels won is good. I'd have to consult you. I'd have to go, hang on a minute. Dave, just in this tweet on here, is a 77% tackle success rate good?
Rule of thumb.
Okay.
Anything over 75% in tackles won, duels won, aerial duels won is sensational. We're looking at the creme de la creme of European football.
Okay. Well, now I know that.
Never knew Dave got his stats from Total Cristiano on Twitter. We're reviewing the stats. We are the Stat Oracle platform. And look, we score the stats. And Will's sort of... It's not been too favourable with this statistic. Sam's already come in with a 4.5. Will, what are you going with?
I'm going to go for a 5.9.
5.9, so just below the average of 6. Could be better. Work in progress. Next up, from Jamie Carragher. Liverpool have taken the lead 17 times this season. So have Manchester City. Man City have won every one. Liverpool have only won 12 out of the 17.
I saw this and I really liked it because it's come at the weekend where many people are saying Manchester City have won the league, and this sort of highlights the fact that Liverpool could still be challenging, but for the fact that they've given up these leads. Dave, I'm sure for you, look at the panel sat there on a Super Sunday, bringing in these sort of stats and statistics. surely something you like to see.
I love to see these types of things. I think it's a very, very poignant point. I think Liverpool have lost, they dropped leads against Spurs, dropped leads against Chelsea. That's something that they need to fix out. And they're not going to win the league this season. City are going to win the league because of this fact.
Yeah, I really like this. I'd give this an 8.4 myself.
8.4. I think it's a 9. And I think delivery, as Garth is saying, absolutely sensational from Carragher. Carragher is Stats FC. We already knew that there. Next up from LFC Stats, LFC Data on Twitter. Great account. Go and follow it if you support Liverpool. With his goal at Stamford Bridge on Sunday, Mo Salah became Liverpool's highest Premier League scorer in London stadiums. Salah has now 14 goals in the capital, one more than Steven Gerrard scored during his Reds career. New year, same Mo.
Teams in London, I'm personally not really bothered about. So it doesn't really hold much gravitas for me. However, the context is this is for Liverpool fans. But me as a neutral bystander, which you're bringing me in for, Dave, it's a 5 for me.
Harsh, very, very harsh. Garth is saying they need more context. Not had some great scores for that statistic. I like it. I think there's room for improvement. This comes from Manchester United Zone on Twitter from the Times. This is a fact that we all know that I don't like to say a lot, but United haven't scored from a set piece in the Premier League since April.
So a very basic stat, but with huge connotations. And I didn't personally know that. So I really like that one. And I'd say this would be... The simpler, the better, isn't it? Because if you're learning and doing it in less time, great to see. I'd give this a 7.3.
It is very, very painful. Some people have called me to take over as head of set pieces at Manchester United. I've had text messages of friends saying, look, Dave, can you do a better job?
Let's just see what you can do a Football Manager first, sunshine.
Maybe I can. Before Manchester United versus Wolves.
28 and 14. Wolves have won 28 points in the Premier League this season, despite scoring just 14 goals, converting to 3 points, win all time. This is the joint most points a side has earned in the season in top flight history, having scored fewer goals than 15. So basically, it's not very well word formatted, but it's basically saying they've scored the least amount of goals, but they've got a lot of points from it.
Bingo. After the Wolves-Man United game at 35 years and 117 days old, João Moutinho is the oldest visiting player to score a winning goal at Old Trafford in the Premier League, in Premier League history. I like that with João Moutinho. I think that's a good part of it. But
that's nice, yeah. I think would the top stat not be better highlighted with XG?
Potentially. I think it's just very, very wordy. And
is that when it gets to 3 points / win all time, that's when it loses for me.
I think it's when the league started to be 3 points for a win. I think that's what it's trying to say. I don't. I'm confused.
It's disappointing as well because Opta Joe kicked things off really well and we got the ball rolling. But yeah, that would be a 3.2 from me.
3.2. Pretty poor. I don't think it's great either.
And that's Twitter when, you're scrolling on Twitter and you...
But anyway, that was the stats review. We reviewed some stats. Do get into the comments any more stats you want us to review or even just your scores for the review. Thanks for knocking around, Will. That is excellent.